Dear friends, in the chapter of Historiography Development in the West, through this chapter we think about the Western trends of historiography. In this, what is history? The analysis of historiography, tradition of historiography, as well as modern historiography. Then we learn development of scientific perspective in Europe and historiography, as well as take a review of some notable scholars such as René Descartes, Voltaire, George William Friedrich Hegel, Leopold von Ranke, Karl Marx and Michel Foucault, as well as some schools such as Annal schools and feminist historiography. Now we are going to revise this chapter through some questions and exercises. First we revised some objective questions. See, in your paper pattern, the first objective question is choose the correct option from the given options and complete the sentences. While this revision, you take pen and paper, jot these questions and try to write the answers. The first question is, it may be said dash was the founder of modern historiography. The options are Voltaire, René Descartes, Leopold Ranke, Karl Marx. You may pause this video and write your answer. The next question is, dash wrote the book entitled Archaeology of Knowledge. Options are A. Karl Marx, B. Michel Foucault, C. Lucian Favre and D. Voltaire. The third is, dialectics method was explained by dash. Options are A. Voltaire, B. Hegel, C. Leopold Ranke and D. Karl Marx. The fourth question is, at the onset of 20th century, dash School of Historiography in France gave a new direction to history writing. Options are A. Annal School, B. Marxist, C. Dialectics, D. Feminist. Fifth question is, dash explained the class theory. A. Karl Marx, B. Michel Foucault, C. Lucian Favre, D. Voltaire. In question first B, you identify the wrong pairs of the following from the given sets. First set is 1. George William Friedrich Hegel, Reason in History, Leopold von Ranke, The Theory and Practice of History, 3. Herodotus, The Histories, 4. Karl Marx, Discourse on the Method. The second set is René Descartes, the founder of modern historiography. Second, Karl Marx, Class Theory. Third, Michel Foucault, Archaeology of Knowledge. And fourth, George William Friedrich Hegel, Dialectics. So, you identify the wrong pairs from this. Let's see the answers of your questions. Read these answers carefully and compare it with your answer. For this, you pause this video. Now we are moving towards short answers questions. Question second, write notes. The first is dialectics. Now revise your answer in these points. First point is, according to Hegel, grasping the meaning of any event happens terms of two direct opposites. Second is, human mind cannot understand the true nature of that event without understanding the opposites, for example, true, false, good, bad, etc. In order to understand the true nature of the thing, one needs to know both true and false. Similarly, good and bad. This method of analysis, which is based on opposites, is known as dialectics. In this method, a theory is proposed at the beginning, which is called thesis. Then another theory is proposed, which is contrary to the thesis. It is called antithesis. After a thorough logical discussion of the both, a new thesis is proposed, which includes the gist of both the thesis and antithesis. This process of arriving at the new thesis is called synthesis. Now see, here is another short note. Annal school. It is also mentioned in your exercise. You may write your answer in 4 points. First is, at the onset of 20th century, a new school of historiography arose in France, which is known as Annal School. Second one, Annal School gave a new direction to history writing. The third point is, it was recognized now that history is not only about the political events, kings, great leaders, and accordingly politics, diplomacy and wars, but also about the climate, local people, agriculture, trade, technology, means of communication, social divisions, and their collective psychology, etc. in the historical time. The Annal School was started by French historians. Now here are some another short notes. Third short note is the physical and natural sciences and empirical method, and fourth one is historian. You pause this video and read the answers and the points carefully. Now the third question is, explain the following with reasons. While writing of this question, first you write whole statement and then write because, and then you explain the reason in various points. For example, first question, historical research was driven to focus in depth of various aspects of women's life. The answer is, historical research was driven to focus in depth on various aspects of women's life because the first point is, the feminist historiography emphasized on the inclusion of women in history and on the rethinking of the male dominant perspective of history. It drove historical research to focus in depth on various aspects of women's life, such as their employment, their role in trade union, institutions working for their cause, their family life, etc. And the third point is, in the historical writing after 1990, women were portrayed as an independent social class. The second question is, Foucault called his method the archaeology of knowledge. The answer is, Foucault called his method the archaeology of knowledge because the first point, Foucault argued that the prevailing practice of arranging historical events in archaeological order is not right. Second is, he drew attention to the fact that archaeology does not strive to reach the ultimate historical truth but attempts to explain various transitions in the past. The third point is, Foucault felt that explaining the transitions in history is more important. He called his method the archaeology of knowledge. The third statement is, in historical research, it may not be possible to use the method of laboratory experiments and observation. Try to explain this statement with reason. You may pause the video and write. Now, fourth question is, do as directed or do as instructed. Here, you can solve various types of questions such as complete the concept chart, concept map, and complete the chart. While solving this question, you draw the structure and then fill all information which is necessary. See here, complete the concept chart. Notable scholars in Europe. You may write any 4 names of notable scholars in Europe here. So, draw the structure and fill 4 names of notable scholars in Europe. In the second concept chart, you fill discipline useful in historical research. Pause this video and prepare a question and answer. The next question is complete the chart. Here are a table. You draw the table and fill all the information. First is book and author, and second one is personalities and their special features. So prepare this question carefully. Now the last question is question number 5. Answer the following in detail. This is a long answer question. You write introduction in 2 or 3 lines and then you explain the answer in various points. You may use points and subpoints also. See, here is the first question. Explain Karl Marx's class theory. The answer is, the first is introduction. In the later half of the 19th century, a new school of thought arose keeping in view of the new thesis formulated by Karl Marx. His following class theory is a famous in historiography. Now, we explain it in the points. First is, according to Karl Marx, history was not about abstract ideas, it was about living people. Second point is, human relationships are shaped by the fundamental needs of people and the ownership as well as nature of prevalent means of production to meet those needs. The third is the accessibility of these means to different stratas of the society may not be equal. This inequality causes a division of the society into classes, leading to class struggle. And the last point is, according to Marx, human history is the history of class struggle as the class that owns the means of production economically exploits. See, the next question is, what are the 4 characteristics of modern historiography? The answer is, first, introduction. There are following main characteristics of modern historiography. This answer is divided into main points and subpoints. The first main point is based on scientific principles. Subpoints are, first, this method is based on scientific principles. Second one, it begins with the formation of relevant question. The second main point is, anthropocentric questions. First point is, these questions are anthropocentric. Second subpoint is, it means these questions are about the deeds of the members of ancient human societies of particular period. And the third one is, history does not suggest any interrelations between the divine and human deeds. The third main point is, answers are supported by reliable evidence. The explanation of this point is, answers to these questions are supported by reliable evidence. The fourth main point is presentation of mankind journey. And the explanation is, history presents a graph of mankind journey with the help of past human deeds. Now, the next question is, third question, what is feminist historiography? See, there are 5 points. First is, feminist historiography means the restructuring of history from the perspective of women. Second point is, the writings of Simone de Beauvoir helped in establishing the fundamentals of feminism. She was a French scholar. The third point is, the feminist historiography emphasized not only on the inclusion of women in history, but also on the rethinking of the male-dominated perspective of history. Fourth point is, it drove historical research to focus in depth on various aspects of women's life, such as their employment, their role in trade unions, institutions working for their cause, their family life, etc. The fifth point is, in the historical writings after 1990s, women were portrayed as an independent social class. Now, the last question is, explain Leopold von Ranke's perspective of history. For this question, you prepare an introduction. You answer your question in various points. Such a way, we can practice long answers. So, we revised this chapter through various questions. Thank you.